This video is going to show you one method for doing an RDL or a Romanian deadlift using just a band. Now this is going to depend your setup on what kind of band you have, how big it is, how tight it is, or how strong it is rather. So keep that in mind whenever you do this. I'll show you a couple different setups that you can use based on those factors and what I prefer based on the band that I have here. So I do have about an inch thick band here. This is the one that I would tend to use for an RDL. Now, in my case, what I'm going to do is cross this band and double it over so that it's smaller and double the tension. I'm going to put this under the arches of either of my feet. So I have that position there. The band is tight across my feet. I'll turn so you guys can see that a little bit. I'm going to keep my feet apart enough to create some tension on that band. Now, I'm going to do my hip hinge here to get into my position. This is where if that band is heavy, we have to be careful and make sure we're keeping that good tight core position and strong posture throughout this movement. So my hips hinge back, and I'm just going to grab the top part of this band. So I'm ignoring the part that's on the floor under my feet, gripping it tight, pulling my shoulder blades together, bracing my core. I'm going to drive my hips forward and squeeze my butt at the top. So you can see here I'm standing up tall. I have my shoulder blades tight. I'm going to re-brace that core, keep tension through my midsection here, push my hips back, come back down towards the floor a little bit. I feel the tension in my hamstrings here. I'm going to drive my hips forward and squeeze my butt at the top. Controlling down, keeping that neutral posture. Hips forward, squeezing my butt. And then I can just let go of the band and step out of it. The wider you keep your feet on that, the more tension is going to be on the band. So you can make it more challenging or less challenging based on that. Now that is a way that I do it because this band isn't quite heavy enough with another form for doing the RDLs that I would normally do. But what you could do is to stand inside of the band without doubling it over. So kind of making a triangle with it with your feet here. But then letting go of that top part and gripping both parts of the band equally. So in that last demonstration, I ignored the part that was under my feet. Now you can see I'm gripping both. And you can see already that this is a longer band, so I'm not as low with tension. But for someone who might be taller or someone who might have a slightly shorter band, this is a variation that might work as well. And that's two versions right there. Again, you kind of have to find what works with your band, but that is the setup for a banded RDL or Romanian deadlift.